My work, both as an artist and actually as a curator, is linked by a very simple, fundamental sort of theme, which is it looks at the ways that we use narratives and stories to make sense of the world. And how, so we look at the world, we generate a story from that, and then that story generates the way we look at the world. You know, it's a sort of ongoing, looping thing. And it's sort of, it's not about sort of how these things, the ways we look at the world are equivalent. So it's not like a sort of, you know, it's been fashionable with postmodernity to say that all ways of the world are somehow equally valuable. I'm far more interested in the way that actually one way of looking at the world stops you looking at the world in another way, and how that world is entirely different for two people. So for instance, if you are somebody who believes in alien contact, if you've driven across the desert, your car's stopped, you've had a green light, the world you move through, even though it looks exactly the same as somebody who hasn't had that experience, is totally different. You know, it's a fundamentally different universe. Messiah is a piece that grew directly out of the political situation that was sort of developing in America, you know, sort of over the sort of George Bush sort of period, and also the way that sort of faith, etc., was filtering into our entire worldview. Again, it's one of these narratives, you know, sort of certain belief systems shape understandings of the world. Beauty does rear its ugly head in my work. I try not to, in a way, but I do have a fatal attraction towards a bit of an aesthetic thing. I sort of, you know, I actually like it as a punter. You know, I like sort of stuff that makes me go, I mean, but the thing about it, obviously, is it's quite difficult to actually control. You know, it's very difficult to sort of set out and make something beautiful. And it's got a sort of, it's so slippery and it's so difficult. And at the moment, it's almost got a sort of strange, sort of dark side political thing to it, you know, because we're at a stage where contemporary art has become so confused. It's become confused because in a way it won. It's no longer alternative to anything. So you've got all this myth of an avant-garde and alternative and that ugly, challenging stuff, you know, that makes this. You know, but in fact, what you have is being bought by Russian oligarchs, yacht trash, you know, rich people with 1,000 facelifts. It's very difficult to think of it actually maintaining that sort of charge that it used to have. So in a way, beauty's come back, and that helps the commodification in a way. You know, so you can people who buy, you know, large crystal chandeliers now feel happier in art fairs because there's quite a lot of bling. You know, so beauty and bling get sort of pretty close together, and you know, you've got Jeff Koons, who sort of beauty is bling, bling is beauty, etc. So it's a really, really difficult, interesting thing. So yeah, I mean, I do have a tendency to drift towards it, but I do feel guilty, and it's a sort of it's a bit of an illicit affair. I don't think it's particularly precarious, but I think it's every age is newly precarious in different ways. I don't think we're much more precarious than, say, you know, during the Second World War.